In the last pool pond video, we made this pool into a beautiful pond, but we want to make it a little more natural with some real plants, as well as some other cleanup critters and all kinds of other fish, and even a few predators. So stay tuned as we turn this pond into a beautiful natural habitat for all kinds of crazy creatures. Some of the biggest complaints we had in the last video was a lack of structure, real plants, as well as a cleanup crew. But we'll also be adding more bait fish and a bunch of really cool fish that are going to be great for the pond. But before we go and catch more fish, I want to announce the names of the fish we already have. When I finally took down the poll, we had 3 big names that were tied for first: Gator, Bubba Bass, and Big Jack. But I decided to go with Gator as the first bass's name. But notice I said first bass, so don't worry, we're going to be catching 2 more to fill the other names later on in the video. For the catfish names, there was a landslide victory for the name Whiskers, so may I introduce you to a very chubby Whiskers. We've also got some other fish in the pond. We didn't name all of them, but I decided to go with a comment suggestion and name our beautiful goggle eye Shiner. I just didn't get any really good footage of him this time. Now that we've got our names, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of aquarium gravel to the pond. That's going to be the first thing. We're focusing on structure for the first day. And even though fish can't really hide in the gravel, it has 2 great benefits. First is the beneficial bacteria that this is going to house. That'll help keep the pond nice and clean and keep all those bad things out. And secondly, it's perfect for spawn beds, so we'll have future generations of fish that were born and raised in this pond. Now, I didn't have any driftwood on hand, but I found some sticks and laid them underneath a piece of concrete, and that was going to be my underwater stick structure. Don't worry, I add some driftwood to it later on, but for now, this was going to have to work. With some sticks and gravel out of the way, we moved on to big rocks. I went out and grabbed a bunch of fat rocks and stacked them around into a cave structure. This thing looked really sweet underwater, and I wish I had good underwater footage of it, but unfortunately, the water is a little bit cloudy here, but as you can see, it works really well. Another great suggestion from you guys was another cinder block, and that was a great call because after 5 minutes, we already had another fish living inside of it. But since we added all of this new structure, we needed something to clean that up, so I went out trying to catch some janitors. Oh, we got one! Oh, got one. Another little small one right here. Let's see if we can catch a few more. I'm seeing stuff splashing around right here. Oh, that's a fat minnow. That's a really fat minnow. Ooh, and a spider. I'm actually gonna release this one because if this one gets eaten in the pool pond, it's not gonna be able to have babies in time. So I'm gonna release this one back in the wild. But if we catch some small minnows that aren't pregnant, we'll put them in the pool pond too. Oh, got another one. Still really small though. You see him reaching over trying to pinch me. Oh, there we go. I think we caught that same pregnant one again. Caught a little small crawfish. And then we got a regular minnow here. We're gonna put this one in the pool pond. Back at the pool pond, I slowly dropped the crawfish right next to the cover so they'd have a quick place to go and hide. Crawfish were one of the most suggested things from the last video, so I'm glad I was able to catch a few, but don't worry, we got plenty more coming up soon. These guys are great because they'll eat all the decaying matter at the bottom of the pool pond, and they'll be a little protein source for the bass, so it's kind of a double use thing. Speaking of protein sources, there's a lot of crazy stuff that I was able to feed these fish, like this giant roach that was in the kitchen. You'd think the bass would be the most aggressive in the pool pond, but these goggle eye and sunfish were nuts when it came food time. I can see why these things often outcompete bass because the second I'd throw in the worm, the bass would try to get to it, but he was always a half second too slow. It ended up taking me several different worms to finally get the bass to be able to get his, and it was kind of funny to watch him get more and more angry at these little bluegill, eventually finally being able to take home his worm. And while I'm feeding these and before we go out and catch more fish, I want to address one more problem that you guys called out in the last video that I didn't really go into detail on, and that is aeration. I actually have a solar aerator set up that charges in the daytime and works all throughout the night, and I also have a pump that runs 24/7, making sure this pond gets lots of oxygen. And some other people were concerned that maybe they wouldn't have enough food, and you'll see a lot of this later on. There are a ton of these little black ants that constantly fall in the water and get eaten by all these fish. But now that you guys know you can rest easy and these fish are taken care of, let's go ahead and go catch some crazy fish to put in this pond. And I say pond because this is truly going to be a natural habitat for these fish by the end of this video. My dog Striker was feeling a little anxious in the house, so I decided to take him out for a little road trip to catch a bass, crappie, and a gar. Those were the most recommended fish from the previous video, and so we went out to the same swamp to try and catch some. I wanted to start off with the hardest fish first, and that's why we went with the gar, because they are notoriously hard to hook. That's a gar. That's a gar. There we go. We got one. No! And this would become a very painful cycle. We had one. It just didn't stay on the hook. That's going to be the hardest part, is getting them to stay on the hook once I've got them. I've been trying to just let it sit, and that doesn't work. What's been working best is a slow retrieval like this, and then I stop it. Just like that. Something's already hitting it. Something's got it. Something's got it. Something's got it. There we go. No! There's one. There's one. Dang it. Oh, okay. One's on. We got one on. We got one on. Got him. No! Take it. Swim with it. Oh, he's swimming with it. He's swimming against the current. There we go. Oh, okay. We got one on. We got one on. Bobber's sideways. Oh, we got him. We got him. Oh, this one might be too big. Yeah, that one was too big anyways. Now to you guys, this is just a couple minutes. To me, this was hours, so I was rapidly approaching a crash out. Got one. Got one. 2 hours later, with 7 misses, I was finally able to land one. I just need to catch one stupid gar. One. That's all I need. They keep biting. They're not stopping their bite, which is cool, but they're not getting hooked either. Oh, we got him. Yes. It has been 2 hours of trying to catch a stupid gar. Oh. I'm going to very carefully unhook him. It looks like I got him barely hooked. Beautiful little long-nosed gar here. Spotted gar, I think, is what they're also called. We're gonna get him put in the live well. It has been 2 hours of trying to catch a stupid tiny gar. We have our gar. Now we can finally switch to the easier species to catch, like the bass and crappie that we want to catch. All right, we've got some Strike King jokers. That's what we're going to be using. And we're going to try and catch a crappie and another baby bass. I went over to the other side of the road, which was super windy and loud, but I was able to catch another beautiful fish. There we go. Ooh, red spot. Pretty red spot, but we have quite a few of these in the pool pond. I don't want to do it to where we have too many fish and not enough oxygen, so we're going to put him back. Oh, not like we had a choice. But it wouldn't be a trip to the swamp without seeing a few alligators, and this one must have been good luck because my next cast was beautiful. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a big grinnell. Big grinnell. Big grinnell. We're going to try and... Oh my gosh, that thing is massive. Oh, dude. Dude. He can't fit in the pool pond, but he's going home with... No! I was about to say he's going home with me. Oh! The little tiny hook I was using was obviously not enough because that grinnell bent it straight. That right there is why. Golly, that was a big fish. But for the rest of the day, we did not catch another fish, no matter how hard I tried. But we did catch something that wasn't a fish that was equally exciting. Oh, seaweed. God, that's a big chunk. Well, that's actually good for the pool pond, I guess. If nothing else, we'll have some vegetation. Today's goal of catching a bass, crappie, and gar wasn't fully complete, but we got the gar, we got some plants, and some cool clips of alligators, and it was time to head back to the pond. Of all the comments I got on that video, the #1 comment I got was adding real plants. So we're going to do plenty of that in this video. This is only the first of many batches of plants we're going to add. Here is our slippery little friend. He's escaped out of my hands 2 times. Super, super pretty. We're going to release him in. There he goes. Little dinosaur. With the garden plants added, we came back another day to try and catch the bass and crappie. We're gonna be using this thing today, so this is actually a pretty cool little live well. Once it's zipped up, all you gotta do is drop the fish in here. They land in the water. It's got a built-in aerator, and this thing will be perfect for keeping all these fish alive as we transport them home. Now, if nothing else works, we do have a cast net that we can use, but I'm gonna try and save that for the end, just in case we can't catch something on the rod. Unfortunately, I didn't catch anything on the rod and reel, but I brought some nets to catch some bait fish, and that was a great idea. I see a few big minnows in here that are really fascinating. I love this cover, which makes it really hard to net them, but I can just see them. There we go. We got a couple of them. Looks like 3. We'll put them in a live well. All right, and I can just drop them in like that. Oh, I caught one. All right, we got one more. The minnow and shrimp catching was going pretty slow until I found a nice little honey hole. Oh, looks like I caught quite a few there. Quite a few little shrimp that time. We'll toss them in there for right now. We got a pretty good sized one in there too. All right, that worked really well. We're gonna do that again. We're just gonna kind of scoop up random spots. Oh, got another one. Look at that guy. Oh, he's escaping me. Look at that one. Good size one. Looks like we got another one here. Oh, I just had a good scoop. Oh yeah, look at all these things. Ooh, good size ones too. One scoop, a whole lot of shrimp. All right, we got quite a few shrimp. We're gonna go ahead and put them in a live well. And just like the crawfish, these will help clean and provide protein for my fish. But I really wanted to catch a crappie, so I decided to try and cast net for one. Oh yeah. Yes! Oh dude, we actually caught a bass. Oh, okay, so we actually caught another bass in the first cast of the cast net. Let's get him immediately put in the live well. We also caught a baby gar, and this one's actually tinier than the one we caught the other day, so I think we might keep him instead. Or maybe we'll just keep both of them. We'll see. Look at this guy. Look how teeny tiny. He won't even focus on the camera. Come on, camera. Focus. Look how teeny tiny that thing is. We definitely gonna have to keep him. We got to. Yeah. Whoop. I want him to bite me. He's tiny, but he's still got sharp teeth. There he goes. With our bass accidentally secured, now we just needed one single crappie. All right, I caught some baby bluegill, a shell cracker, and a small red spot. And then this slightly bigger bluegill. We're gonna release this one because we don't want too many bigger fish. I also drug up this, which I think would be really cool as some structure in the pond. Even though we hadn't yet caught our crappie, this was a great addition for the pool pond. We had lots of new structure and some small fish for the bass. But before I transferred these over to the main live well, I wanted to make one more throw. Ooh, I caught something. I caught a lot of somethings. I caught a lot of somethings. Oh my gosh. Dude, look at that shell cracker. In the cast net. I brought this guy home, but not for the pool pond. He was for supper. All right, we also caught a baby shell cracker and another baby bluegill. Another small bass. And we got what we came for, a little black crappie. We even caught this bonus little mullet. Now mullet prefer a little bit brackish water, so we're gonna throw him back. But we finally have all the fish we came for. All right, bass, big old shell cracker, baby shell cracker, the smaller baby shell cracker. Here's our little crappie. Several of these small bluegill. I'd seen some little minnows swimming around, so I tried to scoop them with my net, and this is why you don't buy a cheap net. Great. I wasn't going to be swinging this anytime soon, but I was able to use it one last time to grab some nice plants. We've got all kinds of hornwort here, That'll be perfect for the pool pond. I even used my toilet paper lure that I made in my last video to catch a lot more hornwort to add to the pool pond. All right, catching some more. There we go. With all these plants secured, it was time to head home. All right, today was way more successful. We got plenty of fish in the cooler. We've got a whole bunch of good cover, and we're not even done for the day. We've got another pit stop after we drop these fish off. All right, we're gonna take all of the plants out first, put them in the pool pond, and then we'll get all the fish. I imagine there's gonna be some shrimp hiding in here, so I'm gonna be careful not to spill any of them. Oh, you can see the bass swimming. All right, we got some more plants. And now we can kind of see some of the fish. We're gonna gently, there we go. All right, here's a teeny tiny gar. Oh, look at him go. We have like a few minnows. They're probably gonna get eaten really quick. Now don't worry, we're gonna get some more. This is where Gator really started to show his more ferocious side, because anything that touched this water, he wanted a piece of. Let's see if he'll take out a shrimp. Whoa, look at him. Whoa. But our shrimp friend is okay. He made it in the grass. Oh, this guy is going crazy for these fish. Golly, he's just zipping and zooming. Right, next up is our little crappie. And this crappie was our first casualty. I don't know what happened. Maybe the other fish bullied him, but I found him floating and half-eaten the next day. But don't worry, we'll get him a replacement soon. Here's a little baby shell cracker and some more plants. This one might actually get eaten by the bass. Let's see. Oh! Ooh! I don't think the bass got him. He's looking for him. He's on the hunt. Look at that shrimp. Let's see if the bass eats that shrimp. Oh, got him. I gotta say, I was quite impressed with the acrobatics that this shrimp was able to do, but ultimately he ended up his lunch. All right, here's the bass. Small bluegill. Pretty little red spot. I don't think the bass is big enough to eat him. This is one of the bass that we caught in the cast net, and he's slightly bigger, so we're gonna call him Big Jack. And I guess Big Jack is a social creature because he swam right over to Gator. Oh yeah, he's slightly bigger. And then we've got this one that's slightly smaller. And that's why we're gonna call him Bubba Bass. But Bubba Bass and Big Jack weren't quite comfortable yet, so they didn't eat, and Gator enjoyed a massive feast. I don't know if I've ever seen a bass quite as aggressive. This guy was chasing minnows out of the water. All right, another little bluegill. Honestly, these are probably just gonna be for the bass. I don't think they're gonna survive too long, but that's a good solid meal for the bass, and it will keep them fed for a good while. And for those of you who are worried about maybe, oh, look, there he goes, about what maybe these fish don't have anything to eat, we have tons of these little ants that keep falling from this tree into the pool pond, and they've been getting eaten left and right. In fact, one just got eaten as soon as I started recording. Now, obviously, this is not gonna be enough plants, so we are gonna be adding a bunch of topwater plants, but we gotta go grab them real quick. All right, we are here underneath this bridge. Not for those rocks, but for these topwater plants. We're gonna scoop up a good clump of them, and we're gonna take them with us all the way back to the pool pond. Now, I do have to be careful in this water. I've seen some big alligators out here. So I'm gonna be pretty quick. I'm just gonna scoop up these right here. And let's get back to the pool pond. All right, here we have all of our topwater plants. We're gonna go ahead and dump them out. And they should spread out on their own within the next couple of minutes. Now, fish have actually really liked this. You can actually see a little tiny fish right there swimming inside of it. They love this crate, but it looks so ugly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some plants on top of it. It might not look like much now, but give this thing a couple weeks and it's gonna be beautiful. Even as I was filming this next segment, a fish found another ant and snatched it up. Now I got all of these sticks while I was out cast netting, and I really don't like how they just float. So I'm gonna get some rocks and build a structure to hold it underwater. All right, you really can't see anything right now. We're gonna wait for the water to clear up. But I secured all of those sticks down here with some rocks, and I made a second rock pile right here. A fish just ate yet another one of those ants. I'm telling you, these things could probably live off of the bugs that fall in here alone. But anyways, we got a bunch more cover. We're gonna wait on the water to clear up a little bit, and then I'll show you an underwater view. All right, it's only been about 5 minutes, and you can already kind of start to see all of the sticks and stuff down there. And yet another ant as I'm filming. Oh, you can see, oh, you can't really see it, but that one got a little shrimp in its mouth. All the fish are out and active now that the new prey has been added. Oh, you can see right here. Watch this. Just like that, gone. After adding all these poor shrimp, they were being hunted down mercilessly by all the fish. Just chasing the poor shrimp. You're welcome, shrimp. I saved your life. The big shrimp just barely escaped. Ooh, these two are getting stalked. This is the size of the little shrimp, and this guy just jumped on my arm. They are getting stalked by these fish though. Unfortunately, it seems like all of the fish have converged over here and have been chasing down all of the shrimp. So we're definitely gonna have to add a lot more of them. To find our next pool pond critters, we're gonna go to this really nasty little ditch down here. And there's a lot of water that likes to settle down here, and that's what we're looking for. I see something in the water right there. What is that? Oh, a turtle. Is that what kind of turtle is that? For a second there, it almost looked like a box turtle, but maybe it's a mud turtle. I don't know. Cool little catch though. We're just gonna let this guy go, but y'all guys let me know in the comments, what kind of turtle is this? I've got no idea. Might be a mud turtle, but I just saw him swimming in the water. It looked like just a blob moving around over there. But we're gonna let him go. I'm not gonna harass him too much. Now my net's broke. I'm waiting on a replacement to come in, but down here, that's what I'm looking for. Look at all them teeny tiny crawfish. That's exactly what I need. Let's just try to get another scoop. Oh, we got another one. Another little tiny one. Perfect snack size for the bass, and it'll help clean up the pool pond. This water is super active. I just gotta try not to sink here. I imagine that's a bunch of minnows and crawfish. But it's gonna be hard to get to them without rubber boots. Now the crawfish are cool and all, but we actually came here for something that might be a little bit more boring, but it's gonna be very helpful. So we're gonna see if we can catch some. And it looks like we got one. This is a teeny tiny little freshwater mussel, and it'll help filter our water. Oh dude, look at that. This one's just gonna get eaten by the crawfish if I keep him, so I'm gonna throw him back and let him live another day. Maybe we'll set some minnow traps out here, but for right now, we're mainly going after snails, mussels, and crawfish. All right, I'm gonna spare you the 30-minute montage of me scooping stuff with a net and show you what we got. We have a ton, something's crawling on my neck. We got a ton of crawfish. And these things are the perfect size for the bass to eat. Let's see. Oh, got it already. And we even have some small enough for the bluegill to eat. Oh, there's one over there. I'll be honest, I have no clue where that thing went. Luckily, we caught so many that there's no way the fish are gonna be able to eat them all in one sitting. So I'm gonna bring them over here where the rocks are and kind of just let them funnel their way out. As I was saying earlier, these guys are gonna be great for cleaning out the pool pond. And I don't know if you've been able to tell, but it's been getting a lot nastier, so maybe these guys will help clear up the water just a little bit. I'm kind of expecting the fish to come over here. They're still a little bit skittish of me, but usually when when I've got some kind of food source, they swarm over here. All right, let me shake a few out. All right, now that right there is one of the freshwater mussels. I've got quite a few of those, and I caught a couple teeny tiny snails. I'll see if I can find one. I got this itty bitty teeny tiny one. Be free. Let's drop one here by this cover. Oh, something came next to it, but it missed it. All right, I'm gonna try one more right there. Huh. I guess they might have already got their fill from the first few I dropped in. Well, I might as well go ahead and start dropping them in then. All right, now this right here is what I was looking for too. These are some tiny little snails. I only got a couple of them, but they should be able to start maybe reproducing in here. Ooh, well, I dropped him. We've also got lots of these freshwater mussels, so I'm gonna drop them in as well. The fish probably won't be able to eat those. If I can dump a couple here, see if a fish comes out. Oh, oh! The reflection on the water is a little bit rough. Looks like those ones made it. Let's get the rest of these fellas out. Ooh. I'm just gonna dump the rest of these mussels right here on this cinder block. They'll help filter feed. They've got plenty of stuff to filter in this pond. And we've got all those crawfish. They'll help be a little cleanup crew. But we're not done yet. We've got a lot of stuff to add. And that right there is why I'm not ever worried about enough food in this pool pond. All right, we've added in a few solar fountains. That helps with aeration. The pool pond's looking a tiny bit clearer than the past couple days, but it's still really cloudy. But we got something really cool to show you. This right here is exactly what I'm wanting to see. Goodness. There's some strawberry plants that I'm wanting to use to both create fruit and help filter out some of this water. And so they should be really good, and they're starting to get some nice new growth. You can see a couple of fish sitting right there underneath the surface. They're really enjoying all this extra aeration. We've got 4 different things going. I do need to find a way to anchor this because it keeps spilling water over the edge. But they're all enjoying tons of aeration. This thing's going full blast. These are going full blast. Everything's going pretty well. You can see a lot of the plants have settled into a new spot, and we're gonna be adding a lot of new stuff within the next couple of days. Some new toys came in the mail, and so it's finally time to catch more shrimp and minnows. Look at that little crab trying to drag off an entire gar. Look at that thing. Now we've also got a net with a lot smaller holes, so we should be able to catch a lot of these itty bitty minnows. For a second, I thought I had scooped up dirt. This is a million little bitty baby grass shrimp. Look at that. Holy cow. Huge, huge thank you to Dark Magician for sending this net. These teeny tiny holes, I would have never been able to catch that with the bigger net. This is insane. I'm trying to get another scoop to see if I can catch some more. They were all just kind of sitting right here. Looks like I might have got most of them already. Wonder if I can scoop this frog. Oh, he got out of the net. It's just a little leopard frog. Them things are real pretty. Bye-bye, Mr. Frog. Now I'm doing something that's really dumb and reaching down into water where a couple weeks ago I saw a giant alligator snatch something from the bank, but we had to get these plants. We've got some lily pads. I saw a second plant and I had to pull out a few different yoga poses just to kind of reach over and grab them. All right, we got our second set of lily pads. And I must have done a pretty good job catching the fish last time because all I got in this thing was one itty bitty bluegill. All right. Oh, well, I think the bass got him. I couldn't quite tell. He dove a little too deep on me. All right, we've got all kinds of plants in here. We're gonna add those in. I'm sure there's a ton of those little baby shrimp hiding in that. That'll be perfect because they're too small for most of the fish to see, so they'll be able to eat all of this algae and grow a little while before the bigger bass start to notice them. we have a lot of that. And then a lot of these floating plants, we've got some duckweed in there. Some of that stuff is just, it looks like some kind of seeds. I'm not sure if that's duckweed seeds, if that's some other kind of plant seeds. Whatever it is, it might sprout, it might not. Regardless, it'll be some kind of food source for something if it just starts to rot. Plants are starting to do pretty good. We got a little bit of growth on that. I'll have to show you that here in a little bit, but we've got an even better project coming up soon. Now you may be wondering, why am I not just dumping this whole thing in there? And you'll have to see in the next part, because we've got a big project to make sure we can keep feeding this pool pond for years to come. Another thing you guys wanted were some potted plants. So I got these really pretty blue pots, and we're gonna be putting some lily pads in them. So I've got them sitting in the pots. We're gonna cover this with sand and then gravel on top of that to make sure none of this dirt gets out and to keep everything filtered nicely. So we got a layer of sand and gravel on top. That'll keep all the dirt pressed down, but I also made sure to leave this up. That way the plants could keep growing out. There we go. All right, that looks nice. All right, look at that. Make sure these are right side up. You can see all the air bubbles coming out, but because we put the sand and the gravel, none of that dirt is coming up out of the pots. And just like that, we now have lily pads. They'll provide extra shade, especially when they're bigger, and cover for the fish, and they just look nice. And I didn't use all the gravel, so we're gonna add a lot more gravel to the gravel area. So we've got some sand there, some black sand, and some black gravel, but we're gonna add a lot of really pretty gravel as well. Now this whole time, I didn't even realize I've got an entire bait pond I can catch minnows out of. I don't know if you can see down there, but there's a ton of minnows, so we're just gonna drop this trap right here. We're gonna let it sink. And then I was thinking, what about plants? Now these topwater plants are invasive. I'm actually gonna be removing a lot of them in an upcoming video, but we've got all kinds of cattails we can put in the pool pond. Just gotta ease it up. Oh, well, that didn't work. Just ease them out. Ugh. Just like that, we got a cattail. Well, I came out here to pick some of that plant and found out we've got the first alligator of 2025 that moved into the pond. He looks like he's just some kind of 3-footer, not too big, but still a little aggravating. That means any bass I add in here will probably become that guy's lunch. So that's gonna complicate things for the next video. But gator aside, we came out here to get some of these topwater plants, and we're gonna put them in the pool pond. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of cover over here. And just like that, there's some more floating plants. They'll help filter out the water and provide a little bit of extra shade and cover. Plus, they're gonna multiply a lot more than that. Each of these bulbs should produce a new plant that kind of floats off, and it'll basically make a big chain. You can kind of see here where I broke that chain, but it'll splinter out and produce more, and so it'll kind of make a little floating island, and that's exactly what we want. Now let's take a closer look at what this is. So I made this into a floating planting platform, but it looks really ugly, and honestly, we've got a little bit of growth, but most of these just kind of died in the water, so I've got an even better idea for how to make this floating platform. All right, I can finally do away with that crate, because now we have some floating planters. But look at all of these that we've got. I put a little bit of decorative rock on this one, same thing on this one. This one's not got quite as much of a sprout out on it yet, but those will help produce some food, not just for the fish, but for me. And they'll stay floating up, getting up a little bit of water through the bottom. Now I think along with all of the other plants that we've added, this should help a lot with the water filtration and making sure that none of those harmful nitrates or nitrites, I don't remember which one it is, but one of those is bad for the fish, and these plants will help take care of that. Now one thing I haven't addressed yet that you guys commented a lot about was a platform for the turtle. Now before, I was using that crate as the platform for the turtle to get on as a basking spot. It floated up enough for him to be able to stand up on it and be completely out of the water, and it was a nice little basking spot. But that turtle is no longer with us, not because he died, but because he escaped. See, I was filling the water up a little bit more because we still hadn't addressed that leak yet, and when the water was flowing up above that little spot there, he escaped, and so he's probably out in the backyard pond somewhere that way by now, but he did not die, he just escaped. So the turtle is no longer in this pond. I wasn't able to find one before this video came out. Maybe by the next one I'll find one, but as of right now, I think this is where we're gonna stop for a few days. I'm gonna let this water clear up, and I really wanna see all of these fish thriving in their new ecosystem. But first we had to go check the trap that I'd set in the front yard pond. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Look at all these fish. Okay, we got a goggle eye. I'm gonna throw him back. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got lots of bluegill. We're gonna throw them back in the pond. Ugh. We've got a pretty red spot. A few more bluegill. Another bluegill. A beautiful long ear sunfish, and a crappie. We're gonna put that in the pool pond. And we've got a ton of baby bluegill that'll be perfect size for our bass to eat in the pool pond. All right, here's our little crappie. Let him swim off. Now these bluegill are the perfect size for bass. I have a feeling once the bass find out these guys are in here, they're gonna be gone quick. Got a couple more. See if the bass come up for him. Oh, I saw something. Something down there got one. I think the problem is these holes are just a little bit too big for regular minnows, but my goodness, it worked great for those bluegill. The trap was so successful that I set it out again and caught something amazing. And we found Jaws. So this is a quick update on how big he has gotten. We had caught him 10 whole months ago, and when we did, this is how small he was, and now he had gotten so much bigger. He's been getting pretty big, so I'm gonna toss him back in. All right, sweet. But here we are now, several weeks later, and this pond is looking beautiful. No, don't drink that. My brother and nephew had come out to check out the pool pond and to help me go and catch some bait fish to add to it. But this time when we went out, we were not prepared for just how many shrimp we were about to catch. We've got a million little suckers. It was almost like every single scoopful was another 1,000 shrimp that we added to the live well. Now obviously they weren't the biggest things, but they added up very quickly. I had never had so much luck catching bait as I did this time, and by the time we were finished, the live well was like a bustling city. Look at all those shrimp. The shrimp has started swimming in big circles. You can see we've got lots of minnows now. You can see that one shrimp in the corner compared to the size of all these itty bitty teeny tiny ones. And they've just made basically a little road where they're swimming in circles. And that is a ton of baby shrimp. As you can see, there are millions of those little shrimp. So we're gonna put half of them in the pool pond and the other half we're gonna save for a project that's gonna be in the next video. So you'll have to stick around and see that, but as for now, let's go ahead and get these suckers put in the pool pond. All right, we've picked out the ones that we want for the next video, but we still have hundreds and hundreds of these guys, so we're gonna go dump them in the pool pond. Now, since these guys are so hard to see, I'm hoping, oh, goodness. Since these guys are so hard to see, I'm really hoping that none of the fish eat them before they can grow up a little bit, and maybe we'll have a nice breeding stock in the pool pond. Hopefully those few thousand shrimp will help clean up this water a little bit because it is getting green. Our last critter is a nocturnal creature that many of you have probably never even heard of. I've seen 2 of them in the last week while being outside, so I'm hoping that either we can spot one tonight or catch one in a trap. The creature we're looking for might look like a snake. Oh, well. There's a frog. Pretty little bullfrog, but that's not what we're after. We're after a different type of amphibian. Oop, there he went. There's another little nighttime critter, but that's still not what we're after. Now I do need to be a little cautious because the alligator is probably still out here in this pond somewhere. Got another creature over here. Big bullfrog, look at that sucker. That guy is chunky. Whoa. Again, really cool, but not the creature we're after. The thing we're after is a lot more rare. Now it's looking like I'm not gonna be able to see one, so we're gonna set a trap out. All right, so we've got a trap baited with earthworms. We're gonna throw it in the water, and we're gonna come check it in the morning. He is getting real snappy with me, this little turd. You are in my pond, sir. He thinks he can scare me. Get on out of here. Go on. Oh, the audacity of this sucker. All right, moment of truth. Oh, man. Looks like a goggle eye, a minnow, another minnow, and a crawfish, some water bugs. I'm gonna throw this back in with the fish and everything, because that might also attract the creature we're after. All right, let's see if we got one. Oh goodness, okay, we got a ton of stuff in here, but I'm not seeing our mystery critter. Well, as you can see, there's a ton of little fish and crawfish, but that's not what we're after. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this mystery critter or not, but we're gonna keep trying. For the next few days, I kept trying to catch that mystery critter and haven't been successful yet, but maybe we'll get him in the next video. But I was able to get a whole bunch of really cool feeding footage. These guys are so aggressive, I wonder. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna do it. Will they do it? Come on, you want to. Oh, he'll eat it right next to my hand. He's not ready to eat it out my hand yet, but that was really cool. Let me try again. Come on, do it. Do it, do it, do it. You got it. Oh, golly. Golly, it doesn't last half a second. All right, we got the smallest earthworm I could find. Boop. Okay, let's see. Oh, I didn't even see that one. I was staring at those. This has been my first daytime sighting of Whiskers, and he is moving. Those fish really like to hide underneath those lily pads whenever it's daylight like this. Oh, look at the catfish. The catfish was using the solar fountain as a little bit of cover, and now he's going right back down. Oh, there's Whiskers coming up and getting a little bit of air. And sadly, I made a big mistake. You see, this is the underwater footage that I was finally able to gather after a few days of waiting for it to clear up. By waiting on the water to clear up, it actually got a little bit more cloudy, and instead of having to wait to release this video till a few days later, I decided to just post the footage I already had. I'm still working on this pond, and if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. But even though the water's not the clearest, it is a lot more natural, and that's awesome. But anyways, guys, I'll catch y'all in the next video. We're going to be adding a whole bunch of crazy stuff to this pool pond to make it even better than it already is. But as always, guys, Jesus loves you, I love you, and have a great day. If you haven't seen the first video, I'll put the link up on the screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.